Let me say another thing. I recorded this last night, but sometimes I get amped up and talk way too fucking long, like I just did. The video I posted last week called Molestation and Sleep, where I shared my story about how when I was 12, this grown young man, 18, 19, came into my room and did some inappropriate things. I was molested. And I'm breaking down how that's affecting me and how it has affected me since I was 12 years fucking old. Scary as hell to share. I even said that on the title or whatever, description. Scariest thing I've ever shared. But I haven't had that many responses ever. I had a good amount of messages. I'm not going to tell you all of them. But the ones that stood out, 5 men, 2 women. People that I've known for a long time. Some not a long time. Some I've never met. Some I have known for a while. Some are like friends. Like friends. And they reached out and said, "Hey man, thanks for sharing that. I didn't know that. I don't feel so alone now. You know, when I was a kid, my dad. When I was a kid, my mom. When I was a kid, my babysitter. When I was a kid, my grandfather fucking molested my kids. Like, all you guys? Really? Whoa, fuck. A lot more of this than I thought. Wow." But then I was touched by that. That was cool. I was like, wow, you didn't have to reach out and share that. Thank you for doing that. But talking to one of the ladies and one of the men, there was this commonality. A young man, I think he's probably 20, 21 by now, 20, somewhere around there. Good kid. Taught him some. I was kickboxing coach for him for a little while. Just as far as I know, a really good kid. He mentioned something about feeling embarrassed and something about masculinity vaguely in there. And then I was talking to a woman, and she was like, "Yeah, it'll fuck anyone up, especially men." And I was like, "Okay, so it's not just in my head." They both kind of mentioned that. And this video today is about you men, especially you 5. I think as men in our culture, we're raised to be not so vulnerable and not really exposing our emotions all that much. Versus women, share your emotions, be emotional, which puts you in a state of vulnerability. And that's kind of like the female culture in America and the male culture. So for bad shit to happen to a woman, it's just fucking fucked up. It's somewhat fits in like the cultural, like, oh, you're exposed, you're vulnerable. Like, versus a man, it's like polar opposite. If you're a young boy and some grown man has his way with you, whatever that is, like, you were completely vulnerable, exposed, dominated. You had no choice but to submit. And all those fight the cultural manly description. Don't be vulnerable. Be dominant. Don't submit. Whatever I just fucking said. So for that to happen to a male, it hits that male identity, that personal identity of who I am as a man. It kind of fucks with that. Luckily, it didn't with me. I mean, I haven't dug too deep, but I feel pretty manly, and I'm quite pleased with my masculine features. So I don't think it hit mine on that level, but for the rest of you, I have a really good point here. Fucking listen. If us men feel less manly from that shit happening to us, or even talking about it, or sharing it, or thinking about it, or acknowledging it, doing anything with it is like, oh, it's a reminder of the fact that something emasculating happened when I was young. I get that. But to share it, but to not share because you think it makes you weak and less manly and more vulnerable is kind of dumb. And I have great evidence coming at you in just a second. One, it's scary as fuck to do that shit. It's scary to acknowledge it. It's scary to do anything with it except for bury it. So the person that runs towards the danger, to me, is more the badass. The ones that run away, less of a badass. So if you're scared of something, whether it's up here or whatever, and you go towards it, sharing, talking, thinking about it, doing something about it, like opening that fucking scary ass box and diving in, that's fucking scary. That's badass. The ones that are like, nope, I'm fine. That's just the coward in you being like, nope, I don't want it, which I get. I get it. My brain still does it. When I did this video the other day, I was talking, I was going into detail on what actually happened that day. And at some point, my brain, I just felt real dizzy and euphoric. My brain was just like, it just kind of like, I don't know, felt really high for a second. I couldn't really think. And I started freaking out, and then I was like, wait. Been here, done that. I've done enough of this digging deep stuff to notice some patterns. And that was my brain's way of being like, that's all I want to fucking access right now. And I'm not going to allow you to access anymore. It's like, when you get to that point, you can try to push a little harder, but I haven't had much success with it once I hit that wall. And I pushed pretty fucking fast, you know. It's not like when I was 12, oh, that's it. When I was 12, I was talking about the part where the guy had my man parts in his mouth. I still have that image in my head. Like, what the fuck, man? This is fucking weird. What the fuck? And the ego in me is like, oh, well, I didn't, you know, get erect, so it's, so I'm gonna say that anyway. That's that male, just so you know, I'm not gay. Like, whatever. So that's the part where I tuned out, and I could feel my brain tuning out again. That's, I haven't thought about it that much in a long time. And there it goes. I'll go back 10 seconds. Of all the men that have reached out, I have either been your personal trainer, your fighting trainer, your shoulder to lean on and talk on, motivator, someone to inspire, someone to kind of lead the way with certain things, someone you admire, someone you respect, someone you see as a quality leader. All these things that you men primarily seem to see in me. And it's just about a good chunk of it is based off of, I got the balls to share this shit. Open up, be vulnerable, be exposed, submit to my fears, everything unmanly. But here I am doing it, and I'm getting so much respect from you men, especially you men that reached out. You reached out to me out of respect because of what I've been doing with myself on camera. So what makes you any different? Why would you sharing or seeing a therapist or just breaking it down, why would you think that induces lack of respect from others? If they're chump motherfuckers, sure. But I mean, all you guys look at me like, damn, he shares some shit. I respect that. So share your shit and respect yourself. And again, back to, you know, badasses run towards fear. You know, cowards run away. Which one are you doing? I will tell you, I've been tired as fuck running towards all this shit for the past 5 fucking years. Whew. A lot of work's been done. Whew. But looking back, 5 years ago, I seemed happier, but there was always this big dark box somewhere, and I did a really good job of just out of sight, out of mind, la 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 la, and every once in a while that box would like, hey, look at me, help, just a little like, I'm like, nope, not there, it's fine, I'm fine, yay. And I got so good that I felt happy, and I was happy. But I got tired of that box, like, just kind of burping every few months, every couple of years, whatever it is. Tired of it, and something kind of put me in a corner. The box pretty much fucking blew up, and I had no choice but to just start cleaning this shit up. Then I'm maybe halfway there. But looking back, I feel a sense of pride about who I am and what I've done. Like, I've always been, somewhat proud of myself because my goals and ambitions and my life core philosophy and core beliefs are pure, and I hold strong to them. So I've always had a good sense of pride because I got that list. But now I feel a little more of it. So I was like, dude, you didn't have to. You could have done the same coward thing you've been doing since you were 12 and just not acknowledging that. But I chose otherwise. I could have shoved everything back in the box, stuffed it away again, but I decided not to. Let's unclutter this motherfucker. don't be a coward. Don't be a coward and go ahead and tell someone some weird shit about yourself. See a therapist. Fucking cry. Acknowledge that maybe you're gay or you're homosexual or maybe you're depressed or maybe, I don't know, you resent your father who's passed away. I don't know. Yeah, don't run away from that. I'm not saying you have to run towards it, but at least fucking turn around and look at it. Just look at it. And that's what kind of helps me. That's what I'm trying now with this whole 12-year-old shit. Like, I'm just going to look at it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm not going to fix it. Not going to feel any. I'm just going to see it. Okay. And that's just a big step for me. Just stop in and be like, all right, let's replay it real quick. Okay. Usually I do it after I've had quite a few drinks. Otherwise, my brain just tunes out right away. So that's my method. Healthy? No. Physically? No. Mentally? It's progress. So I'm checking that as a fucking win. And that's been my method. But I think the first step is to just if you're walking away from it, always keeping it like behind you, just turn the fuck around. Take a second to look at it. And that's it. Your mind will start doing what it needs to do, but don't rush it. If right out of the gate, you're like, oh, here it is, I gotta fix it. All these emotions, just take your fucking time. Basically what I'm saying is just do a little more than you usually do. You can do that once and wait 6 months. All right, here we go again. And again, and again. Maybe it'll take you 20 years. Maybe it'll take you a week. Maybe you'll let it go immediately. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure I've let mine go pretty well. The resentment and anger and whatnot. But then again, I never really felt anger and resentment. So as I dig deep into this, that may be what I'm having to deal with. Is what it is. And in the world of death, there's this common series of phases that the human mind goes through when dealing with a loss. Usually I learned this about, loss of a loved one. But as I continue growing in life, I realize that can be applied to a lot of hardships. If you're you're on meth and you quit, I think you'll probably go through the same phases. Alcoholics go through it. So with this, I think it can go with dealing with some traumatic shit. And to get past it, you just listen to DABDA. D-A-B-D-A. This is the phase that most of us go through when dealing with a loss. But for me, it's accepting a change. If I'm going to let something go, there's going to be a void there that's like, oh, that's scary. There used to be negative stuff there, but now it's gone. Ooh, that's a change. It's a loss of something. Even though that loss of something is healthy, it's still scary. And subconsciously, my brain is like, we're going to lose something. We're going to lose something. Let's go through the phases. So I think it works that way too. So first is denial. I'm fine. Oh, that happened when I was, whatever. The guy's just weird. It doesn't really bother me. So that's denial. Next is anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. So most of us need to go through all 5 of these to get through something in a healthy manner. So anger may be the next one. Maybe angry. And then I'll start bargaining, like, I could be angry at myself. That's probably what's going to happen. But then bargaining, I'm like, I was young, or he was something, and then, and bargaining, like, but yeah. And then at some point it kicks in, and depression kicks in. And once that kicks your ass enough, we tend to just, I'm tired of feeling this way. It happens. It fucked me up. Here's how it's affected me. And I'm tired of fucking going through this phase. Let me accept it, own it, and start fixing it. God damn, my brain just got really tired. That's a lot of info. So, don't be scared. And if fear is steering your life, where do you think it's taking you?